creative nothingness.
My name is Christopher Albright. This is Panel by Panel, a show in which we read your favorite comic books. And today with me, we have a special guest, J. Michael Miller. How are you doing today, Mr. Miller?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I love this energy. This is my favorite energy so far out of everyone I've dealt with. We're working with a Summit comic anthology, a short. What do we call this?
It's the first story. It's an introduction to the Twin Flames. It's the very first part of how they get their powers.
Okay, fantastic. And Twin Flames, brand new heroes, brand new universe, right?
Yes.
What inspired that specific thing? I've seen a few heroes like that in the past that are twins, but what inspired this one?
This one is a little bit different, even though it might imply twin family. It's more about partners and love, kind of. What if Spider-Man and Mary Jane got powers at the same time?
Okay.
They're a little bit different. They're their own character, but what if they got their emotions, changed their powers, and the closer they got, the more powerful they became?
I like that. That's interesting. Are you ready to open it up and start talking about it?
Yeah.
Let's go. First, we have our initial page. Immediately, you have a boom. What is happening in this scene?
In this scene, it is December 21st, 2012. That is A-Day, the big event that happens that some heroes had powers before then, some it happens because of this event. And so in this story, it's because of this event, but I kind of say that it remembers powers instead of creating them.
That's interesting. A-Day, I've worked with a few of the Summit guys now. Is this involved with the Trench character? Or something different?
Kind of universe-wide, involving our flagship character, Juna, as well.
Okay. And then this was 2012. This is Las Vegas, so that's why there's a big Egyptian statue.
Yeah.
I was going to ask. And what's happening in these scenes? What's blowing up? Can you tell me more about this?
This is alien ichor falling from the sky. Kind of comet-like. It's dangerous. It can hurt you or give you powers. It's going to cause some chaos in some upcoming scenes.
So we have people looking at it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. We have the boom. Let's see what happens next for us then. Okay, there's the chaos. Tell me more.
So it didn't give powers. It remembered them. There are different people who have been touched by the alien ichor that are gaining powers. Some of them electricity, and this is before our heroes have powers. They're just stepping in and being everyday heroes, trying to help save people.
You said it remembered them. Can you elaborate for me what that means?
I think everybody has a little bit of hero in all of us, not to be too cliche, but kind of in our DNA. You kind of remember the hero that you are.
That's interesting. And another question, to go back to Las Vegas, is there a reason that this is set in Las Vegas right now?
I actually was born in Las Vegas. I don't live there now, but that's where I was born and spent half of my childhood. And then also it kind of made sense with the Egyptian mythology too.
Okay, fantastic. So there's a little bit of personal involvement here. The man picking up this young kid, is he someone important for this script, or just a?
Yes, person? He's Nico Noden, and he is one half of the Twin Flames.
And the person standing in the silhouette, are we about to find out who that is?
Yes, it's a random citizen, though.
Okay, let's see who we have. What's happened in this scene?
She is freaking out because she's got powers now. She kind of has electro-like powers, but she can't control it. She's about to start hurting people in the crowd.
Very clearly, like you said, everything you just said is exactly what this page is saying. I was reading it along too. When writing these sorts of scenes, what kind of thought do you put into it? Is it strictly, I need to show as much energy and electricity from this person? Do you try to pack as much detail into it? What's going on in the scene when you're writing it?
I try to kind of package as much into it as I can. I try to think of what would make sense, even with science a little bit, with how they're able to stop her, to ground her powers, and prevent her from causing more issues in the crowd.
Okay.
So I think it's kind of a little bit of everything.
The black dots around her, is this just more of the powers? Is this the Ichor? What's happening there for me? Because that's the one thing I'm not really sure about.
It's the Ichor and taking control of her and her emotion.
Okay, perfect. We have them looking back. We have the crowd very clearly scared now about what could happen. And then, here we are.
And then that is Soraya. That is the other half of the Twin Flames, the better half of the Twin Flames. And then they're going into action to try to stop her from erupting into the crowd.
So these two clearly already know each other. Is that right?
Yes, they're a couple.
And I don't think there's notes on how long they've been together just yet, but these two, you mentioned before, it's about how much they love each other to increase the powers.
Yeah, they have their own powers, and then when they're together, that strengthens their bond and what they're able to tap into.
Is the Ichor what's going to give them powers here, or do they already have it in this scene?
They actually get their powers from relics in an upcoming scene. And Nico has underlying powers as well, though.
So let's move forward then just a little bit and see what happens. Now they've just fought this. I assume she was not a nice lady. We don't know exactly. She was going to hurt some people, though. We had to stop it. Do they actually save her from herself here?
It's kind of like putting a blanket on a person that's been in a fire, just helping them calm down and reassure them and moving on. So anything else would be for the police to deal with later. They're just heroes. We're not trying to get into politics of it.
I like the idea. Just like, okay, cops, you do. She does electricity. It's for you guys now. We're done.
Kind of like Spider-Man. Just
yeah. All right, that's fair. And then we have the conversation at the end. Go ahead, let me know what's happening in this conversation. You're welcome to read it if you'd like to.
In this scene, they're grabbing onto the stop sign to help ground the electricity, and she's coming back to her normal self. He says, "This should help you stay grounded. Quick thinking back there. That's why I love you. That's why you love me, huh? Well, that and a few other things. Who are you?"
So this would be a page turn, right? We're about to find out what the next situation is about to be.
Yes.
And the page turns. Oh gosh, more of the Egyptian themes, but there's a lot of things happening here. Tell me what the plan was on this page.
In this page, Soraya is hearing Bennu speak in their head, and Nico as well. But Soraya is a little bit more touched in emotionally, and so Bennu is introducing who he is and calling them towards relics to gain their powers.
So when writing these kinds of scenes where there's a little more chaos, a little more crazy things happening, how much did you put into this page versus how much your artist kind of took liberties on writing?
I tried to keep it tight, and then the artist actually created a new character because it was just supposed to be the Sphinx like towering in the distance, and then they created a character coming out of the Sphinx itself. So they created a new character with that, and I thought it was pretty cool, the design, so we had to go with it. But I put a lot of thought into being able to show pieces of what's happening.
Okay, yeah. That's whenever I've... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just without sharing too much all at once.
Yeah. Whenever I've worked with any kind of artist, they always add a little something. I'm like, that's good. That's really good. I can't say no to it. So
yeah.
These are the exact kind of scenes that I see my artist always doing. Here's an extra thing or three. So we have the new character who showed up from the Ichor. All this is happening from the Ichor. We have more of these black dots. dropping down and awakening things. Um, and then we kind of take a pause. This is a little bit of a break. What's happening here?
They're being called inside the Sphinx
Mhm.
by Bennu, and so they're stepping down basically the Luxor Casino underneath the Sphinx in Las Vegas, and they're being called towards relics that are saw how worthy they were in the chaos of A-Day, how heroic they were, and they're called to have power now.
That's interesting. I love panel three. Is one of my favorite drawings of them so far. These relics that we're talking about, are these based in any real history? Are these strictly imaginatory? Like what happened there?
They're imaginatory. They're inspired by mythology, but it's kind of like Power Ranger power coins or the radiance in the Massiverse, a way for them to have their powers and be connected to a source bigger than them that chose them at the same time for how heroic they were.
So the source is going to be Egyptian themed. How much more of that will happen in the Summit universe that you're aware of?
There's a huge pantheon occurring, and it's going to pick up even more in Pinnacle 3. Our third issue will involve a lot of gods, but there's gods all over the place. As far as I'm concerned, I think Egyptian is mostly me so
Okay,
far.
that's what I was about to ask. Is you mentioned a lot of gods. Um, can you give kind of more of a idea of how all of that works, or is it
It's a little bit spoilery, especially for the next stories of the Twin Flames, but their powers come from Bennu, and there will be some inspiration from the Phoenix as well, from Greeks taking over after Egypt as well.
okay? Interesting. And let's see here. This is our final page. This is where we get to actually see them more in action, I guess. But there are people trying to stop them. What's happening there?
That is the underground, Luxor underground security, trying to stop them from taking the relics they have in their possession.
I like the way that you have this little inlet panel of just two of them, but when you look at the bottom of the screen, you actually see multiple guns, so you understand that they're surrounded. Can you tell me more about this security? Is this high level? Is this another thing in Summit that we're going to be dealing with a lot more?
This is in the Twin Flames strictly, but it'll be involved in the Summit universe as well. It's just part of the security force for the Luxor Underground, the shadow organization working within there.
Mhm.
And they'll definitely show up in the next story.
Talk to me
It'll pick up
about,
right where it leaves off.
yes, sir. Talk to me about the kind of villains that Twin Flames would have to face. What's your first villain sort of situation we're going to see? Because this one was more chaos and an internal sort of thing. Who's our big bad guy?
They're going to face Phoenix Phylon, and that is a trio of ancient Greek warriors that wielded the flame before them.
Okay. Um, is there a way that that's juxtaposed to Twin Flames themselves and the love situation?
Yes, it's a little bit more forceful though.
Okay. 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 Um, when it came to all of this happening, Summit itself happening, did you see this as one of the big breaks, like one of the big moments where it's like you have to jump on, you have to be part of it? How do you see Summit itself?
I did. It all happened really fast. I was in the middle of trying to go see Fantastic Four and Elio at the drive-in with my family, and then immediately we were camping when I was trying to like plot out what the Twin Flames were. But I first had the idea in 2022, so it's been 4 years just to get here still for the Twin Flames, and it all happened really fast. So
That's interesting. 4 years is crazy. I wouldn't never guessed. Um, well, any last thoughts you'd like to give before we wrap this one up?
the Twin Flames is just part of the Summit universe, and it's growing. And definitely need to check out Summit Pinnacle #1. There's so many heroes that I'm just fans of as a reader.
Yes, sir. Where can people find you on the internet?
At Comics and Cosmos, anywhere is my handle, and then read some.it/pledge to find a Kickstarter.
Absolutely. That's the first person to actually say that, by the way. Thank you so much, Mr. J. Michael Miller, and you have yourself a wonderful day, buddy.
Thanks, you too.
Bait for the bait throw. Trash for the trash throw. Welcome to my emotional Thunderdome. I am creative nothingness.